Hello, guys. Welcome back to Nebraska Hoop Talk. This is our second episode, and my name's Jake Schuyler with Nebraska Talk, and we have Jamin with 402 Hoops.
Yes, sir.
We have John here with Cornhusker Hoops Report. We have a special guest with us, guys, and it's Ruthie Loomis-Goltl, 6'2" sophomore. I'm gonna let Jamin take it over here.
All right, Ruthie. You're from small town Nebraska, aka Bridgeport. So how much does being in a town of 1,500, 1,200, something like that? Yeah. How much do you think that affects you and your recruiting process?
I definitely think it plays a part because there's not as much exposure necessarily as somewhere like Omaha or Lincoln. But I think playing on the team that I play on and being successful, I think that definitely helps because I play with some really good athletes as well. So
grade to immediately, it's not like, oh, you're on the freshman team, then JV, and then varsity. It's straight into the big pond. What was that kind of like?
Well, we played a lot of basketball in the summer coming into my freshman year, so I'd kind of adjusted to playing with some of those girls and playing with girls that were bigger than me and stronger than me as a freshman. So I think maybe when the season actually started, I was maybe more prepared than I could have been, but it's still definitely a big jump coming in from junior high. So I think this year it's definitely easier just to adjust from when I was 14 or 15.
Are you considered as one of the people that everybody looks up to? Do you feel like there's a lot on your shoulders, a big role to fill, or do you feel it's just basketball as usual and you're contributing wherever you can help out?
I mean, I'm definitely trying to step into more of a leadership role this year. We're a really young team. We have one senior starter, but I mean, I don't feel a lot of pressure. I just feel like I'm trying to help everybody and be everyone can look up to, especially we have freshman starters. So just being that everyone can look to, kind of lead them in tough situations, just that's kind of what I'm striving for.
Definitely. Gotcha.
What age did you start taking basketball seriously?
Well, I think I started playing competitively when I was in 5th grade, and then going into junior high, that's when I started to realize okay, I really this is something that I love and it's something that I want to continue doing past maybe high school, So I'd probably say junior high.
So obviously you're taller than average for your age and where you are, especially. Can you kind of give us an insight of how that was growing up as a basketball player, being I want to I don't know this for sure, but being the tallest person in class on the basketball court, etc.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's the first thing people notice about me. It's the first thing people say to me, whether I'm at school or whether we're playing basketball. So I've gotten used to it, and I've learned to love it because it helps me a lot with basketball. So but I mean, people still say to me every day, even people that I see every single day, oh, you're so tall. I mean, I hear it a lot.
It does help. Look at you, 9.7 in rebounds. You're averaging almost 5 blocks per game. So, it gives you the advantage. And, having the athletic ability and the footwork behind it, you've got it going for you.
Yeah, it gives me an advantage. So, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So being 6'2" and being your size, have you adapted to learn? Because 6'2" at the next level in college is not it's tall, but it's not as tall as compared to the other schools. Have you started developing guard skills to kind of match up with that?
A lot of coaches tell me that's something I need to work on developing is my shooting and my movement on defense. So it's something that I've definitely started to think about more this season, and it's something that I think my coach is pushing me more in practice to do. So yeah, I've started thinking about that, becoming more of a guard instead of exclusively a center.
Of course.
Your freshman year, what honors did you have? Were you all state, all conference? Was there any honors leading into your sophomore year?
I was all conference WTC and then first team SPBA, and I think I was had honorable mention for all state.
That's really awesome. Freshman year and having those honors. Great job.
Who is somebody that you'd want to play against that you never have?
Crofton probably, because they've had so much success, in our class for so many years. Like they're kind of like a dynasty in Class C2,
Sure.
and they're always somebody that's contending for a state championship. And I think it'd be awesome to just compete against a team like that.
For sure. Now, piggybacking off of that question, who's an athlete that you would want to play with?
I'll say Peyton Berta from Scottsbluff. We've played against each other since we were little, like 5th grade, and she's an incredible shooter, and she's a really good guard player. So I think instead of playing against each other for once, maybe team up, see how that goes.
For sure. I know there was speculation about the rumors about y'all potentially doing it this year for AAU, but since COVID hit,
Yeah.
kind of ruined another planned ruin
Yeah.
of the many COVID has done.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of the COVID situation, what did you do to like continue to get better when gyms and high schools were all shut down? Like, how'd you continue that grind of working, getting better?
My sister and I, and then one of my best friends, we played 2-on-2 just about every single day with one of my coaches on an outside court in town, probably every single day when everything was locked down and gyms were shut down. And they painted a court outside, so we played just about every single day all through the spring and through the summer. So we still played every day. So
What goals did you set to accomplish your sophomore year? So what did you want to accomplish out of your sophomore season?
Individually, I wanted to average a double-double, but with the team aspect, I wanted to win our district and make it to Lincoln and keep pushing through there, because I think we have the capability of doing that. So I think that's our big team goal this year.
And, I wish you the best of luck for your sophomore season, everything that you set out to accomplish, and you're going to do well. I'm looking forward to watching you, and I know you're going to hit that 1,000 points this year.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Of course. Good luck with your season. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We're now going to go into who we feel are the top performers. So these are our picks. And John, why don't you lead off this time?
All right. My first top performer was Maya Babbitt. I don't go too much into girls basketball. I'm not as knowledgeable into there, but I saw it on Twitter at halftime. She had 23 points, so I kind of kept my eye on that game. Finished with 42 and a big 32-point win for Millard South, 96-64 over Lincoln High, and was 10 of 19 from three-point range, which broke Millard South's school record for most threes made in the game. So that is just an outstanding offensive performance. Going off of more great shooting games, Jared Borer from Lincoln Southwest seemed like he did not miss any shots against Fremont, my team. So I got to see that right up close. He was 6 of 8 from three-point range, and none of them touched the rim except for the ones he missed. Other than that, every single one was just through the net easy. And my third one is, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing his name right, Brandon Orgable from Elkhorn North. He's just been on a tear all season with scoring. I recently posted about him saying he's a name to watch out for in that 2022 class. And right after that, he scored 33 points, which is a school record for a first-year school, but still incredible numbers for a team that's really kind of surprising. Some people that thought, they're a first-year school, they can't do that good, but they've been pretty good, and they just won over Aurora when he scored 33, so congratulations to those three.
All right, I will go next here. I don't have just the one athlete. This team really impressed me. It's been impressing me over their season. They're very underrated in Class D1, and it's on the girls' side, Wymore Southern, and they just won the B division in Mudeca's tournament, and I've been following them throughout the season, and they are 12-2, and they only have 2 losses, and one of them was to Nebraska Christian 49-48, and Freeman 33-25. And there's several athletes on there. It doesn't look like any one athlete is the all-star, just there's several of them. So I have Torrey Smith, which is a senior, and averaging about 2 blocks, 2 steals per game. Maddie Wagner averages about 2 steals per game. Callie Cooper from the 3 and, inside the paint, she can go either way. Kaylee Clover, a power forward and a solid rebounder. And then there's 2 sophomores that I've been really liking on that team as they're developing. Elena Clover and Kendria Troxel. Hustlers, aggressive. They're on the ground, diving after the ball. So I don't have just the one player this round. That team, just watching all their highlights and what they're coming together, and to be 12-2 and not even in the top 10. And they're beating teams by 20, 30 points. A lot of their opponents are only scoring about 20 points on them. So definitely a team to watch, and definitely a group of athletes to watch.
For sure. Gotcha. Yeah, so I have 3 athletes this time. I have I have my bad, but of course I witnessed the performance live, and she just she almost lost for words. It didn't seem like she had enough. She kept shooting the ball. Even like she missed like 2 in a row, and she just kept shooting, and it kept going in. And obviously it worked well, and she for sure. And I liked it a lot because she wasn't even just. They didn't highlight her assist total, but I think it was like 4 or 5 assists. Like she actually passed the ball as well. It's not like she was ball hogging like normal 42 point. Some like looks like. And then my next one is I got Landon Klassen, my guy from O'Neill. He's an athlete. It's an understatement. He can he shoot the ball very well. I know I've never seen him in person, but I know I've seen him on streams and stuff, and can shoot the ball well. He can drive very well. Like he's just an overall all impressive player. Then my last one I have is Trey Minor from Elm Creek, who dropped 32 points, 14 of 23 shooting, which is not bad for him and Elm Creek. Elm Creek's been kind of doing well this year, even though they expected them not to do well just because they lost some seniors. And that's kind of those are my 3.
And I want to watch North Bend versus Oakland Craig on the boys' side. Obviously, I won't be attending the game, but if I can catch the video online, that's my game of the week.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go next. So I will be attending that Oakland Craig and North Bend game. I will be there. So I am excited for that. But the game I'm looking forward to is Papillion La Vista versus Papio South. Crosstown rivalries. Rivalries. Crosstown opponents. Crosstown opponents. And like literally down the street from each other. They're both pretty solid matchup, the girls and guys side. And I feel like it's always close every year, no matter who's on what team. It's always close no matter what the year is. And now I feel like since a few fans are allowed, since a few fans are allowed, I feel like it's going to make the game a whole lot different.
I think La Vista boys are underrated. People look at their record and immediately write them off, but they had to play Millard North, Bellevue West, and Creighton Prep all in 1 week, and that's an impossible task to finish that in 2-1 winning record. They finished at 0-3 and then lost to Millard North again, but all their losses have been to super tough teams. And I think they're a team to watch out for. I got to watch them live against Gretna, and man, Kyle Ingerson, he can shoot, and his size and skill ability, I think he's underrated. He's a really skilled player. And then my 3 games of the week, one of them was that North Bend Central versus Oakland Craig game. I'm trying to see if I can go to that. I'm not sure if I can. Not sure how the scheduling is all going to work out. My second one is Miller North versus Omaha Central. That game should have about 100 points scored for both teams. That's just going to be an offensive showcase. And then my third one is Waverly versus Wahoo. I really wanted to go out to a Wahoo game this year because I know a couple of the guys and want to see some of their younger talent play, and that'll be a good test for both teams.
For sure.
Very,
Yeah,
very good.
it seems like I'll be attending for all of your guys' game of the week except that Wahoo game. But like all the other games, I will be attending. So your first life covered.
That one just continues to impress me, though. North Bend, I think, has got a rhythm starting to go. Oakland Craig is a little underrated. Maybe they haven't played, some top tier teams, but their record's showing good. So, looking at a lot of their stats, they've got some players and athletes.
For sure, 110%. And I feel like Kyla Hellbush from North Bend and Brody Johnson is that 1-2 dynamic duo. Like you gotta guard both of them extremely close, and if one of them drives, and you gotta help side on the other. So one of them drives, someone's gonna be open. So that's always a nightmare for opposing teams.
I agree. Well, guys, that'll wrap up our episode number 2, and we've had a great time